What's up, guys? So today it's our first story time with my magical pen that leads us to all the types of stories we could tell. So let's get to it. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Pearl. One day, she met another girl right next door to her named Lisa. They became best friends. But then one day, Pearl had to move. And then Pearl and Lisa were crying because they wanted to stay with each other. But their parents said it wasn't gonna happen. So they had to split apart until one day, Lisa's mom called Pearl's mom. And then they decided for a little sleepover. Well, a slumber party. Both of them invited all of their friends to Lisa's house, and then they went for a sleepover. But then the sleepover went all wrong. Lisa's brother and his friend were spying on the girls when they were having their slumber party. But the girls knew that they were allowed to stay up so late, so they decided that to look for a little egg hunt because it was almost Easter Day. And then the next morning, the boys woke up at 1 a.m. and decided to spy on the girls while they were still sleeping. And then the boys somehow got some paint and painted on all the girls' faces. And then when the girls woke up, Lisa and Pearl were really good at fighting because they took ninja class. And they had the red belt. And guess what happened next? The girls were so mad at the boys. One of the girls named Sierra went to the same karate class as Lisa and Pearl. So then Lisa, Pearl, and Sierra started kicking out the boys and destroying the boys' room. And then the parents thought that it was all the boys' fault to mess up the room. So then the parents told the boys to clean up the room. But then they saw the boys messing up the girls' room, and then they told the boys to clean up the girls' room too. But then after the boys cleaned up the girls' room, when the girls were having a panicure, the boys just randomly came out of nowhere and destroyed all their nail polish and their brushes and all their robes. And then the mom and dad said, "That's it, boys. You're no longer with each other and you are grounded." And then the parents called the other boys' mom that was staying over for the night and then said to make the other boys grounded. So then the girls could have fun, and then the parents cleaned up the room for the girls. The girls had the best sleepover ever. That they actually spent a week together at a sleepover at Lisa's house, and they were they were having so much fun until Sierra had to go home. But then they went to the park, and then they were still so stressed that they didn't even want to go. They were worried that people would think that it was a school and they would tease them. But then Pearl said, "Don't worry, be brave." And then Lisa absolutely didn't care if anybody would tease them, and nobody teased them. But then the boy that was going to be grounded, his dad didn't know that he was supposed to be grounded. So then they went to the same park as the girls went, and then he always laughed at the girls because he was so worried that he would get themselves grounded. And then they started running away from him. The little boy didn't know why they were. But then somebody mentioned something. There was a little red dot in the little boy's eyes. And then Pearl said, "Look, there's a red dot in his eye." And then all the girls looked at closely in his eye, and then they asked Google what it was, and then the Google said that it was a sign that person's that had the eye thing in their eye was a monster. Dun dun dun. So they decided to just keep on running from the little boy, and then running and running and running. They went back home, but the little boy followed them in their trunk. And then the little boy started haunting the girls. And then the girls had to be apart for the boy to never haunt them again. Give a big thumbs up for part 2.